What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Secrets of the Fit and Successful podcast, the number one podcast for you if you're looking to up everything in your life. Let's get into it. We're talking about zooming out to zooming in today, the secret to getting unstuck. So I've had a couple people, one client specifically, who came to me and was like, Will, I've been feeling a little down lately, and I've gotten into the routine, but I don't, the motivation's going away. I don't feel as motivated as I used to. What can I do to fix that? And so I thought about it for a little bit, because I understand that motivation, it's going to come and go. That's just natural. And so, after I told him that, he felt a little bit better. Like, it's okay to feel not motivated sometimes. It's okay to feel a little bit down. It's going to ebb and flow, and that's just part of the process. But then it got my gears turning. How can we spark up that motivation again? Because obviously it's going to be more comfortable for him if he feels motivated. You don't want to just accept that you're going to have ebbs and flows. You want to try to do what you can to stay in a flow state much longer than you would be in an ebb state. And so after I did some thinking about it, I really decided that there's one key thing that I do when I want to remotivate myself, recenter myself, that allows me to kind of get back on track. And it's zooming out and then zooming back in. So what do I mean by that? Because that's a little abstract. So let's dive into that. What I mean by zooming out to zooming back in is, think of your life like a canvas or a timeline, and you are very, very zoomed in on it, right? You are living in the present. You're thinking in terms of what's happening today, what's happening this week, and maybe even what's happening this month. But for the most part, we live in a very, very zoomed in timeline of our lives, right? We're very, like we talked about yesterday, instant gratification. We're focused on the short term. We're focused very much on what is happening to us immediately. And so we can get that same way when we start thinking about our goals, right? If we fall into a healthy routine, it's a great thing, but we can get lost in the day-to-day of doing the healthy routine and lose sight of, well, what's the overall goal we were trying to accomplish? And then even though we're doing everything right and we're making progress towards that goal, because we've kind of lost sight of what that long-term goal was, we lose the motivation that comes along with doing the routine and seeing the progress. So obviously seeing progress is going to be maybe the most important part. But when you're not seeing the progress, how do you get the motivation back? And so that's where I came up with the zoom out, right? If we're on the canvas, step back, open up your eyes to the entire canvas. Not only seeing where you've been, but where you want to go on the timeline, right? If it's a timeline we've zoomed out, we can now see ahead, and there's all this ahead of us, and we get the idea of where do we want to go. That's why I vision board a lot. I think you can kind of see it, maybe not. Let me see if I can just tilt you. A little bit, no. I think Facebook can see it, but Instagram, you're a little cropped in. Anyway, over here I've got a vision board. And I make one every year, and I put it right up in my office. And what that allows me to do is, that's the zoomed out, right? That's the zoomed out version of my year. And so when I look at that, I can say, I'm not feeling great today. I'm a little unmotivated. And what's up, Louie? And I'm just not feeling it today. I look at that motivational board. I look at that vision board, and I'm like, this is why I'm doing this today. It's not because I feel like it, because you're not going to feel like it every day, but it's because I can see these long-term goals. And then it reminds me, those long-term goals are broken down into my monthly goals, which are broken down into my weekly goals, which are broken down into my daily goals. And I'm doing this today because that deposit today into my bank account of success is going to add up, and I'm going to hit that weekly goal. And when I do that next week as well, that off day will fill that weekly goal. And when I do that for the whole month, then I've filled up a whole month. And you do that for your whole year, and you filled up a whole year. And that's how you start making all of this progress. So having a vision board, having something to look towards that zooms out your life's picture, that zooms out on the timeline, and it's like, I can see where I want to go and why I want to be there. That's how you get motivated when you're out of motivation. That's how you kind of get out of that ebb and back into that flow state. So make a vision board. Zoom out of your life. Don't just look at the short term. And so that's what I told this client. I said, I want you to sit down, and I want you to just take a day. maybe sometime this weekend or when you have free time, and just like think about what you want to have happen in 2021. Realistic goals, right? Write them down. Zoom out, write down the whole year, and just be like, this is what I really want to have happen. And it's going to get you, first of all, excited, right? You're going to carve out some pictures of things that would be cool to have, right? And it doesn't always have to be mindset or stuff. It can be just dumb materialistic stuff. Like put a car that you'd love to have. Put a weight that you'd like to get to if you're trying to lose weight. Just throw out stuff that you want to be at by the end of the year. And then start backwards engineering it. Say, okay, I have a goal that I want to lose 60 pounds this year. Big, hefty goal, right? So then we say, okay, I have 12 months in a year. That means that I have to lose X amount of pounds per month. And then, if I break that down, I only have to lose X amount of pounds per week, which means I only have to do this today. And so it makes it much easier. And so not only will it give you these realistic goals, but it's going to motivate you because it's going to be like, oh, if I keep putting this in, then I'm going to be there at the end of these 365 days. So your motivation obviously is going to ebb and flow. That's not even a debate. That's just going to happen. I have days where I wake up and I'm like dragging my feet and I don't want to do stuff. And younger me used to just not do it. And that's why I'm not 100% where I want to be. The older me realized, yeah, you know what? It's not instant gratification. I'm not just going to get this because I want this. I'm going to get this because I worked for it. And working for something doesn't mean just working for it when you want it. It means working for it day in and day out, no matter how you feel about it. So obviously we want to find as many hacks as we can to make us feel like we want to go after it, but you're not going to every day. But this one for me is definitely the most helpful. And having those visuals too, that visual of like, it's almost like scrapbooking or something. It's just like an artsy craftsy thing to do, is like spending a day where you just make a vision board. You print out a bunch of pictures of stuff. You post it on a cork board and you put that cork board up somewhere where you're going to see it every single day. It takes an entire day out of your year to just think about how awesome would it be if I like stuck to my goals for a whole year. Like that would be so cool. And then you see it every morning, you see it every day, and then you're like, maybe that's the day that you're feeling like quitting. Maybe that's the day you're questioning it. And if you didn't have that there, you might let those negative thoughts go through your head where it's like, yeah, I'm just feeling down. I feel like I don't have a ton of momentum. Nothing's happening. I'm not seeing the results I want maybe. But if you see it in front of you, it's going to remind you. It's going to slap it in your face. It's like, this is what you wanted. You said you wanted this. Don't give up so easily. Like this is all still there waiting for you. You've put this on your timeline. You just have to keep going along the timeline to make it there. But if you stop filling out your timeline, if you stop putting stuff in there, you're never going to make it. So yeah, have a bad day. Let yourself have a bad day. But surround yourself with enough motivation that you're going to have these good days. So, vision board and the zoom out to zoom in method. Those are my two things for when you are just feeling like you can't go another step. And trust me, we've been there. We've all been through 2020. And I think that took a lot out of all of us. And I think we're all realizing that 2021 will be not maybe as bad, but it'll be an equally challenging year. Things aren't just going to go away. No one's going to make things better for us. We're going to have to start taking a little bit of ownership in our lives and deciding that, you know what, we're going to make things better for ourselves. We're going to take maybe the shitty situation we're in, and we're going to handle it. We're going to make it better for ourselves. So, guys, we got a little homework for you today. Weekend's coming up. It's Friday. I hope you guys are all excited. Hope you guys are ready to, go have a little rest time. You put in some good work this week, and you're excited to relax a little bit. Set aside a little time for yourself. Do a little soul searching, and just ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really, really want? Some things that are deep, like some things that are very, very intrinsic to being like a human being. Like I want happiness. I want this and that. Write those down. And then all the way to like dumb materialistic stuff like I want this new camera. Write them all down. Throw them all in there. And when you are done, grab some pictures of different things. Write out some quotes. Find some things that motivate you. Put them on a little corkboard piece of paper and put it somewhere where you're going to see it for the rest of the year. And just have it there to remind yourself to zoom out whenever you feel like you are so focused in on stuff. Because, yeah, in the short term, things might get a little negative. They might get a little negative for a day, a week, sometimes even a month. But if you don't zoom out past that, you're going to get caught up in that negative cycle. So having this here, it's going to allow you to zoom out, have a great day, or even if you didn't have a great day, it's going to allow you to zoom out and say, at least there's hope beyond this little negative patch I'm in right now. And I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to make sure that I make it to the positivity and the success on the other side of this little downtrodden I'm in. So that's your homework. Go make a vision board. And then the next time you're feeling down, I want you to look at that vision board and say, you know what? I'm zooming out. This is the big picture. I want this. I'm choosing this. So I'm going to do the stuff that I said I was going to do today, even though maybe I don't feel like it. I'm just going to trust that if I follow this process, that down the road, I'm going to look back and be thankful that I stuck to it and I listened to myself and I let that vision board help inspire me to continue doing what I'm doing.